Hello, welcome to LD Awareness Week, and my name is Michelle Kruschandl, and I'm a specialist mental health pharmacist. I specialise in learning disabilities, and I'm here to talk to you today about STOMP. I'm going to talk to you about what that is in a moment. So I'm a pharmacist and I cover the whole of Sussex, right across Sussex, carrying out STOMP medication reviews.
Michelle, can you tell us a bit more about STOMP, please?
So STOMP stands for Stopping the Over-Medication of People with a Learning Disability, Autism or both. And what it's about is it's making sure people with a learning disability are on the right medicines for them.
Could you explain what STAMP is, please?
So STAMP stands for Supporting Treatment and Appropriate Medication in Paediatrics. So it's very similar to STOMP, but it's in younger, in children.
So what are psychotropic medications?
Yes, so psychotropic medications are mental health medications that are used and they act on your brain or your mind. Some examples of psychotropic medications are drugs like antipsychotics, okay, for example risperidone or quetiapine, and then you have drugs for depression as well, and then you have things like for anxiety and sleeping tablets. These would be examples of psychotropic medications.
Why is it important to stop over-medication?
So we know that people with a learning disability have more physical health and mental health conditions than the general population. So we know that they will probably be on more medications. And it's really important, as I mentioned previously, that they're on the right medications for them. So they may be on a medication to treat a mental health condition. They may be on a medication to treat epilepsy, but they also may be on a medication to treat behaviour that challenges. And we need to make sure that we're regularly monitoring and reviewing those medications to make sure that they still need to be on those. The other thing is as well is they may suffer from unwanted side effects such as gaining weight, feeling a bit sleepy or sedated during the daytime, feeling constipated, things like dry mouth. There's lots of unwanted side effects, so we need to make sure that they're not suffering from any of those unwanted side effects.
Thank you. So how would I know if the person I care for is over-medicated, so they're taking too much of certain medications, for example?
Yeah, so it's really, as I sort of just said about the side effects, if you're worried about the side effects and you feel, that you notice somebody is very sedated or they're really constipated or they're feeling really sort of shaky or stiff in the morning, for example, that could be a sign that they are being over-medicated. Or if they've been prescribed a medication for behaviours that challenge and they no longer have those behaviours that challenge, then we would definitely need to review those medications.
So if we, as a carer, are worried, who do we contact? Is it our GP or is there any other services that we can reach out to as well?
Yes, so every person with a learning disability should be having an annual health check. Every year they should have one of those, and part of that annual health check is carrying out a really good medication review. This should be carried out by the GP or somebody like a pharmacist who knows about medications, so they can have that done when they have that review. If they still are not happy after that, then they could contact somebody like me who can support them a bit further. There's also a really useful leaflet that carers can support people with a learning disability with when they visit the GP. It's an easy read information leaflet and it really does help when you're wanting to have your medications reviewed.
So how do you help people to reduce medication? I'm worried, if the carer is worried
Yeah.
that they might have side effects or become unwell by reducing that.
Yeah, so what I always do is if you decide that the medication is no longer needed, so you would look at the one that has the least benefit, for example, and then you would never do that on your own. You would always make sure that you speak to your GP or your psychiatrist, and we would reduce it really slowly over generally quite a few months. And always to go at the patient's pace as well. You don't sort of think, oh, I'm going to stick to a rigid schedule or anything like that. You would go at the patient's pace.
So if a carer's obviously contacted the GP and they're not feeling like they're being listened
Yeah.
to, what would you suggest that they can do then to kind of feel included
Yeah.
in this process of the review or a check for the person
Yeah,
they care?
that's really important. So the information booklet, the easy read one that I mentioned, we can provide details of how to have that, so you can complete that with the carer before you visit the GP. But if you still, I mean, hopefully you will feel okay after you've had that review. But if you don't, then I will provide my contact details where I will be able to support further if necessary. I mean, in terms of easy read, so we've got the STOMP leaflet, which is quite useful, which we will provide information on that, but also we've got easyhealth.org as well, which provides information on lots of different medications and other health conditions and things like that, which is a useful website.